Good morning, students. How are you? So I think all are fine. So take care of your health. Okay, va? So say your prayer. Thank you. நான் ஒரு நல்லாசிரியர். நான் உங்களுக்கு தாயாகவும் தந்தையாகவும் மருந்துமுறையாக அன்போடு கல்வியை போதிப்பேன். நான் ஒரு நல்லாசிரியர். நான் உங்களுக்கு தாயாகவும் தந்தையாகவும் மருந்துமுறையாக அன்போடு கல்வியை போதிப்பேன். நான் ஒரு நல்லாசிரியர். நான் உங்களுக்கு தாயாகவும் தந்தையாகவும் மருந்துமுறையாக அன்போடு கல்வியை போதிப்பேன். Okay, students, take your social science book. Yeah, take page number 252. So today we will discuss about the Parliament of India. So already we know that there are three organs in central government. So what are they? Yeah, executive, legislative, then judiciary. So executive, so it includes President, Prime Minister, then the Council of Ministers. So which we have discussed in our previous class. Then the legislative. So which is the legislative organ of the union government? Parliament. So today's class we will discuss about the Parliament. In next class we will discuss about the judiciary. So that is the Supreme Court of India. Okay, ma? So let us move into the lesson. In our previous class we discussed about the Vice President, Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers. So the Vice President, so he occupies the second highest office in our country. So next to President, so he is the highest officer. Okay, ma? So it is modeled on the, so that is the Vice President office is modeled on the lines of American Vice President. Then Article 63 of the Constitution provides for a Vice President of India. Then what are the qualifications for the election as the Vice President? Should be a citizen of India, so completed 35 years of age, then have qualification to become the members of Rajya Sabha. Then election and term of office. So his term of office is 5 years. Then election, so not elected directly by the people of India. So as like that of the President, he was also not elected directly. So he was indirectly elected. So he was elected by the members of the Parliament. Then removal of the Vice President. So how he was removed? So we have discussed it. Then the functions of Vice President. So he is the ex officio chairman of Rajya Sabha. So he presides over the meetings of Rajya Sabha. Then suppose if the President unable to perform his duties means, then Vice President will act as a President for a maximum period of 6 months. So we have discussed these things. Then we will move to Prime Minister. So he is the real executive. So the real power is vested with the Prime Minister. Okay, it is based on the model of Westminster model of democracy. So Westminster, a parliament in England. So the Parliament of England is situated in London. So in that place, a particular part called Westminster. So it is a part of London. So there only their parliament is located. So based on that type of parliament, Indian parliament is placed. So that's why we say Westminster model of parliament. So who is appointed as the Prime Minister? The leader of the majority party is appointed as the Prime Minister by the President. Then the Prime Minister rule the government. So under the Council of Ministers, so were appointed by the President on the advice of Prime Minister. Then we discussed about so duties and functions of Prime Minister. So which article mentions the duties of the Prime Minister? Article 78. So there are various functions. So the Prime Minister, so he only decides the rank of his ministers and distribute various department. So he guide the ministers, supervises the work of the ministers. He acts as a link between the President and the ministers. So he is the principal spokesperson of the country. He is the chief spokesperson of the country. So he is the leader of the nation. Then we discussed about the Council of Ministers. So there are three categories. So there are three ranks. So ministers are classified into three ranks. So cabinet ministers. So that is the important departments are given to these ministers. So like defense, finance, external affairs, home, etc. Then ministers of states. So they were given next rank to cabinet ministers. So they are also given independent department. Then deputy ministers. So they are lowest ranked ministers. So they assist the cabinet ministers or ministers of state. So they are not independent. So they have to assist the cabinet ministers or ministers of state. So these are the things we have discussed in our previous class. So we discussed about the Vice President, the Prime Minister, and also the Council of Ministers. So from the beginning we have discussed the Union, executive, so which includes president, vice president, the prime minister and council of ministers. So today we will discuss about the Parliament of India, that is the legislative organ of the union government. The Parliament. So the Parliament is the legislative organ of the union government. So legislative means the law making body. So for India, for the people of India, in the Parliament only the laws are passed and made. So the laws are passed and the act are passed in the Parliament. So the Parliament is the legislative organ of the union government. So the Parliament of India consists of three parts. So the Parliament of India consists of three parts. They are the President, the Rajya Sabha, that is the Council of the State, and the Lok Sabha, the House of the People. So Rajya Sabha is the upper house, are also called as Council of the State, because the members of the Rajya Sabha were elected by the members of the State Legislative Assembly. So that's why it was called as Council of State and upper house. Then Lok Sabha, so it is the lower house of the Parliament. So it was also called as House of the People, because the members of the Lok Sabha were directly elected by the people of India. So that's why it was called as House of the People. So the Parliament of India consists of three parts, that is President, Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. So why President was included a part of Parliament? Because a law or an act passed in the Parliament came into effect only after getting assent from the President. So a bill passed in the Parliament can become a law or an act only after getting assent, only after getting permission from the President. So that's why President is considered as the part of the Parliament. So even though a bill is passed in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, it will become an act or a law only after getting assent from the President. So that's why President is considered as the part of the Parliament. So our Parliament naturally consists of two houses, so Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. So that's why it was called as bicameral legislator. So bi means two. So bicameral legislator. So our Parliament is a bicameral legislator. Okay, so the Parliament is the legislative organ of the union government. The Parliament of India consists of three parts. So they are the President, Rajya Sabha, that is the Council of States, Lok Sabha, the House of the People. So the Rajya Sabha is the upper house and the Lok Sabha is the lower house. So it is termed as the bicameral legislator. Rajya Sabha, so also called as the Council of State, so consists of 250 members. Out of them, whom 238 represents the state and the union territories, elected by the method of indirect election. So the Rajya Sabha consists of 250 members. So among 250 members, so 238 represents the state and union territories. So they were elected by the method of indirect election. Then the remaining 12, so they were nominated members chosen by the President. So the 12 were nominated by the President of India. So amongst persons having special knowledge or practical experience in the field of literature, science, sports, art and social service. So recently, that is 2 years before, so Sachin Tendulkar, a famous cricket person, was nominated as the Rajya Sabha member. So he was nominated as the Rajya Sabha member. Okay, so the person who have special knowledge or practical experience in the field of literature, science, sports, art and social service. So they were nominated as the Rajya Sabha member by the President of India. So actually the Rajya Sabha consists of 250 members. So among 250 members, 238 were elected by the members of the State Legislative Assembly. So they represent the state and also the union territories. The remaining 12 were nominated by the President of India. So who were the 12 members? So the persons who have special knowledge or practical experience in the field of literature, science, sports, art and social service. So the persons who have special knowledge in this field were nominated as the Rajya Sabha members by the President of India. So totally there are 250 members. Qualification of the members. So how can a citizen become a member of Rajya Sabha? So first, he should be a citizen of India. So to become a Rajya Sabha member, he should be a citizen of India. He should not be less than 30 years of age. So to become a Rajya Sabha member, he should not be less than 30 years of age. That is, he should have completed 30 years of age. Then he should not hold any office of profit under any government. He should not be in any government department. So he should not hold any office of profit under any government. He should be a person with a sound mind and monetarily solvent. So he should be a person with a sound mind. So sound mind means a state of man's mind which is adequate to reason and comes to judgment upon ordinary subject like other rational men. So state of man's mind which is adequate to reason and comes to judgment upon ordinary subjects like other rational men. So that is, he should be healthy, so both physically and mentally, and monetarily solvent. So solvent means so having enough money to pay your debts. So that is, he should not have any debt. Even though he have debt means he should be evident. He should have enough money to pay that debt. Okay, so he should be a person with a sound mind and monetarily solvent. And also, he should not be the member of Lok Sabha or any other legislator. So he should not be the member of Lok Sabha or any other state legislator or union territory. So qualification of the members. So he should be a citizen of India. He should not be less than 30 years of age. So he should not hold any office of profit under any government. He should be a person with a sound mind and monetarily solvent. Then he should not be the member of Lok Sabha or any other legislator. Suppose if he is a member of Lok Sabha or any other legislator means, so he have to resign from that office. So he have to resign from that office. Or otherwise, so his seat may become vacant. So he should not be the member of Lok Sabha or any other legislator. So these are the qualifications of the members of Rajya Sabha. So term of house. So the Rajya Sabha is a permanent house and it cannot be dissolved. So as like that of Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha is not a temporary house. It cannot be dissolved. The members of the Rajya Sabha are elected for a term of 6 years. So the members of the Rajya Sabha are elected for a term of 6 years. 1/3 of the members of Rajya Sabha retire every 2 years. 1/3 of the members of Rajya Sabha retire every 2 years, and new members are elected to fill the seats thus vacated. And new members were elected to fill the seats. So 1/3 of the members of the Rajya Sabha retire every 2 years. So and the new members were elected to fill the seats such vacated. So the President of India, that is the Vice President of India, is the ex officio chairperson of the Rajya Sabha. The Vice President of India is the ex officio chairperson of the Rajya Sabha. The Deputy Chairperson of the Rajya Sabha is elected by the members of Rajya Sabha. So apart from the ex officio chairman, who is the Vice President, there is Deputy Chairperson. So the Deputy Chairperson, so he is elected by the members of Rajya Sabha. So Rajya Sabha, the term of house is 6 years. So normally it is a permanent house. It cannot be dissolved. But the members of the Rajya Sabha are elected for a term of 6 years. 1/3 of the members have to retire for every 2 years. And the new members are elected to fill the seats thus vacated. So the Vice President of India is the ex officio chairperson of the Rajya Sabha, and the Deputy Chairperson of the Rajya Sabha is elected by the members of Rajya Sabha. Election. So how was the Rajya Sabha members elected? So we know that they were not elected directly by the people of India, but they were indirectly elected. So they were chosen by the members of the state legislative assembly and the union territories. So the members of the Rajya Sabha are elected by the elected members of the state legislative assembly in accordance with the system of proportional representation. So they were elected by the members of state legislative assembly in accordance with the system of proportional representation. So proportional representation means a system that gives each party in an election a number of seats. So a system that gives each party in an election a number of seats in relation to the number of votes its candidate receive. So proportional representation means a system that gives each party, so each political party in an election a number of seats. So in relation to the number of votes its candidate receive. So by means of the single transferable vote. So the election so held like this. That is, the voters, that is the state legislative assembly members, were given the list of candidates. So they have to choose in order. So they have to give their choice. So choice 1, choice 2, choice 3, like that. So the person who got more number of choice, so who got more number of choice when compared to other persons will be chosen as the Rajya Sabha member. So this process of election is called as indirect election. So as they are not elected directly by the people of India, so the members of Rajya Sabha are elected by the elected members of the state legislative assembly in accordance with the system of proportional representation by means of the single transferable vote. So proportional representation means a system that gives each political party in an election a number of seats in relation to the number of votes its candidate receive. Okay, so by the means of single transferable vote, that is the candidates. So the list of candidates was given to the members, so that is the voters. So they have to give their option. So choice 1, choice 2, choice 3, like that. So the person who get more choice 1, so will be chosen as the Rajya Sabha member. So this way, so the Rajya Sabha election were held. So they were the council of the members of the council of state. So they represents the Indian Union. So they represents the union of the states. Okay, so next, Lok Sabha. So till now we have discussed about Rajya Sabha, so the council of the state. So how many members are there? Total members are there? 250. So out of 250, so how many represents the state and union territories? 238. So how were they elected? They were elected by the method of indirect election. So the remaining 2 were nominated members. So they were chosen by the president. And then what are the qualifications? Should be a citizen of India, so not less than 30 years of age, should not hold any office of profit, then he should not be the member of Lok Sabha or any other legislator. Then the term of office. So actually Rajya Sabha is a permanent house. So the members of the Rajya Sabha are elected for a term of 6 years. Then who is the ex officio chairperson of the Rajya Sabha? The vice president. Then we discussed about the process of election. So they were elected by the elected members of the state legislative assembly in accordance with the system of proportional representation by means of single transferable vote. So this is the process of indirect election. Now Lok Sabha. So Lok Sabha is the popular house of the Indian Parliament. So and it contains the representatives elected by the people. So Lok Sabha, so called as the lower house of the parliament, also called as popular house. So it was the members. So the members were elected by the people of India. So the maximum number of members can be elected for Lok Sabha is 552. So the total number of, so the maximum number of members to Lok Sabha is 552. So now the Lok Sabha member is 545. So total maximum member is 552. But now the actual number of Lok Sabha member is 545. So the Lok Sabha as of today has 543 elected members. Out of this, 530 members were elected from different states and 13 members elected from union territories. So totally 552. So the maximum strength is 552. But now the total strength is 545. So among the 545, 543 were elected directly by the people of India. So 543 elected directly by the people of India, and the remaining 2 Anglo-Indian community. So the 2 remaining seats was nominated by the president. So 2 seats were given to Anglo-Indian community. So among the 543 members, 530 were elected directly from the state and 13 from the union territories. So the president nominates 2 Anglo-Indian community members to the Lok Sabha. So the Lok Sabha is the popular house of the Indian Parliament and contains elected representatives of the people. So the maximum number of members can be elected for Lok Sabha is 552. So Lok Sabha now has 543 elected members. So out of this, 530 members were elected from different states and 13 members from the union territories. So the president generally nominates 2 members belonging to the Anglo-Indian community. In case of Rajya Sabha, 12 members were nominated. So they were nominated by the president. So the persons who were special knowledge in some field like literature, science, sports, etc. were nominated to Rajya Sabha. But in case of Lok Sabha, so the Anglo-Indian community members, so only 2 Anglo-Indian community members were nominated by the President of India to Lok Sabha. Okay. So qualification of the members. So what are the qualifications needed to become a Lok Sabha member? So first, normally, so he should be a citizen of India. Then he should not be less than 25 years of age. So for Lok Sabha member, he should not be less than 25 years of age. Then he should have his name in electoral rolls in some part of the country. That is, his name should be registered in electoral rolls. Yes, he should. That is, he should have the electoral voter card. So his name should be registered in electoral rolls. So he should have his name in electoral rolls in some part of the country. Then he should not hold any office of profit under the union or state government. So he should not hold any office of profit under the union or state government. Then he should be mentally sound and economically solvent. So monetarily solvent. That is, he can able to pay his debt. So he should be the citizen of India. He should not be less than 25 years of age. That is, he have completed 25 years of age. Then he should have his name in electoral rolls. So that is the official list of the people who have the right to vote in a particular area. So electoral rolls means the official list of people who have the right to vote in a particular area. Yes, that is, his name should be in the election list. Okay, so he should not hold any office of profit under the union or state government. He should be mentally sound, so physically and mentally healthy and economically solvent. Okay, so these are the qualifications. So almost it is equal to the Rajya Sabha member. So the main difference is, to become a Rajya Sabha member, he should complete 30 years of age. But to become a Lok Sabha member, so just 25 years of age is enough. The term of the House. So generally, the Lok Sabha enjoys a term of 5 years from the date of its first session. So the Lok Sabha enjoys a term of 5 years from the date of its first session. So first official meeting. It can be dissolved by the President before the expiry of its term on the advice of the Prime Minister. So even though Lok Sabha enjoys a term of 5 years from the date of its first session, it can be dissolved by the President. So before the expiry of term. So before 5 years term, it can be dissolved by the President only on the advice of the Prime Minister. So the emergency provisions of the Constitution enable the President to prorogue. So prorogue means discontinue a session of a parliament without dissolving it. So prorogue means discontinue a session. So during emergency provisions, so the President can discontinue or dissolve the Lok Sabha either on the advice of the Prime Minister or on being convinced that no party or no alliance of party enjoys necessary majority support in the House. So as per the emergency provisions, the President can discontinue or dissolve the Lok Sabha. So as per emergency provisions, so the President can discontinue or dissolve the Lok Sabha either on the advice of the Prime Minister or on being convinced that no party or no coalition party enjoys the necessary majority to form the government. So the President can dissolve the Lok Sabha before its 5-year term of office on the advice of the Prime Minister, or if the ruling party loses its majority, or if there is no majority party to form the government means, then the President can dissolve the Lok Sabha session. Okay, so if the Prime Minister advise the President before 5-year term means, then the President can dissolve the Lok Sabha. Or if the party, if no party or no alliance of party enjoys necessary majority in the parliament means, that is in Lok Sabha means, then the President can dissolve the Lok Sabha. So automatically 5 years once. So if the term 5-year completed means, the President can issue order to dissolve the Lok Sabha. So the Lok Sabha enjoys a term of 5 years from date of its first session. It can be dissolved by the President before the expiry of its term on the advice of the Prime Minister. So even though the Prime Minister enjoys full majority means, he can advise the President to dissolve the Lok Sabha before 5-year completion. So before the term of 5-year completion, the Prime Minister can request the President to dissolve the Lok Sabha. Yeah. The emergency provisions of the Constitution enable the President to prorogue, that is discontinue or dissolve the Lok Sabha either on the advice of the Prime Minister or on being convinced that no party or no alliance of parties enjoys necessary majority support in the House. So election. So how were the members elected? So the members of the Lok Sabha are directly elected by the people of India. So by the people of constituencies created on the basis of population. So India was divided into various constituencies. Okay, so there are totally 543 constituencies. So based on the population, so India was divided as on the constitution. So the Election Commission of India arranges, supervises and conducts election to the Lok Sabha. So the Election Commission of India, so the headquarters is at New Delhi. So they arrange, they supervises and conducts election to the Lok Sabha. So the members of the Lok Sabha are directly elected by the people of the constituencies created on the basis of population. So if you take all the constituencies, almost the population is equal. So there is no more population or less population in any constituency. So the population of all constituencies all over India is almost equal. So only the slight difference is there. So the Election Commission of India arranges, supervises and conducts the election to the Lok Sabha. Universal adult franchise. So universal adult franchise means so give the right to vote to all adult citizens. So gives the right to vote to all citizens regardless of wealth, income, gender, social status, race, etc. So universal adult franchise. So gives the right to vote to all citizens. So universal adult franchise is followed while electing the members of Lok Sabha. So universal adult franchise, that is giving right to vote to all the adult. So there is no discrimination. All citizens, all Indian citizens above 18 years of age who are registered as voters will vote for their representatives. So all Indian citizens, so who are above 18 years of age, and they must register with the Election Commission voter list. So they were given chance for vote to choose their representatives. Okay, so the election, Lok Sabha election, the members of the Lok Sabha are directly elected by the people of the constituencies created on the basis of population. So whole India was divided on the basis of constitution. So each constituency have their own representative. So they were chosen by the people. So the Election Commission of India arranges, supervises and conducts election to the Lok Sabha. Universal adult franchise is followed while electing the members of the Lok Sabha. All Indian citizens above 18 years of age who are registered as voters will vote for their representatives. Then functions of the Lok Sabha. So what are the functions? So they were elected directly by the people of India. So any bill can be introduced and passed in the Lok Sabha. So any bill can be introduced and passed in the Lok Sabha, including money bill. So money bill can be introduced only in the Lok Sabha. So it has the same power as Rajya Sabha to participate in case of impeachment of president. So it has the same power as that of Rajya Sabha to participate in the case of impeachment of president and the judges of Supreme Court. So impeachment means the process of removing the higher official. So it has the same power as Rajya Sabha to participate in the case of impeachment of president and the judges of Supreme Court. Then it has equal power as Rajya Sabha in passing any bill for constitutional amendment. So it has equal power as like that of Rajya Sabha in passing any bill for constitutional amendment. So bill means a form or draft of a proposed statute presented to a legislator but not yet passed and made law. So bill means a form or draft proposed to a legislator but not yet passed and become a law. So a bill means nothing but a form, proposed to the legislator, so proposed to the law making body but not yet passed to become a law. So Lok Sabha has the equal power as Rajya Sabha in passing any bill for constitutional amendment. Okay, so how many Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha members are there for Tamil Nadu? So total elected members of the parliament from Tamil Nadu. So total members for Rajya Sabha it was 18 and Lok Sabha it was 39. So Lok Sabha members of Tamil Nadu is 39 and Rajya Sabha members is 18. So the functions of Lok Sabha, any bill can be introduced and passed in the Lok Sabha, including money bill. So money bill. What do you mean by money bill? Yeah, they are related with the financial bill. Yeah, so like tax. Yeah, so finance matter, they are included in money bill. Yeah, so they were introduced only in the Lok Sabha. So money bill can be first introduced only in the Lok Sabha. It has the same power as Rajya Sabha to participate in case of impeachment of president and judges of the Supreme Court. Yeah, so it has equal power as like that of the Rajya Sabha to participate in case of impeachment of the president and also the judges of Supreme Court. Then it has equal power as Rajya Sabha in passing any bill for constitutional amendment. So in functions of Lok Sabha, you have seen the money bill. So about money bill. So what is money bill? So Rajya Sabha does not have any power to amend or reject the money bill. So even though Rajya Sabha have power equal to Lok Sabha in several cases, so some case so Lok Sabha have more power. So Rajya Sabha does not have any power to amend or reject the money bill. Even so, money bill can be introduced only in Lok Sabha and not in Rajya Sabha. So Lok Sabha introduced the money bill and it is approved by the Lok Sabha and it is passed to Rajya Sabha for its approval. So if Rajya Sabha fails to pass it within 14 days, then the bill get passed without the approval of Rajya Sabha. So Lok Sabha passed the money bill and it sent to Rajya Sabha. If the Rajya Sabha didn't approve it for 14 days means, then it seems that the Rajya Sabha has approved and the bill can be accepted by both the house. So also Lok Sabha does not need to consider the amendment proposed by the Rajya Sabha. That means there is no power for Rajya Sabha in case of money bill. So only the full power about money bill is vested with the Lok Sabha only. So the Rajya Sabha can't introduce an amendment or can't introduce a money bill. So only Lok Sabha can introduce a money bill and introduce amendment on money bill. So Rajya Sabha does not have any power to amend or reject the money bill. Lok Sabha can introduce the money bill and once it is approved by the Lok Sabha, it is passed to the Rajya Sabha for its approval. If Rajya Sabha fails to pass it within 14 days means, then the bill gets passed without the approval of Rajya Sabha. Also, Lok Sabha does not need to consider the amendment proposed by the Rajya Sabha. If Rajya Sabha propose any amendment to the money bill means, then choice of Lok Sabha. So they may accept the amendment or they may reject the amendment. But the bill considers it was passed. So Lok Sabha can reject all the proposals and pass it. So money bill. So in case of money bill, so Lok Sabha have more power. So it can't be introduced in Rajya Sabha. And if Lok Sabha pass the money bill and send it to Rajya Sabha means, so they have to return within 14 days. So if they didn't return within 14 days means, then it deemed that the bill was passed by Rajya Sabha. Then if Rajya Sabha introduced, if Rajya Sabha consider any amendment, so introduce any amendment to the money bill means, then it was the choice of Lok Sabha to accept the terms, to accept the amendment or reject it. So it was the money bill. So only Lok Sabha have full power. So no power with Rajya Sabha. So just they have to approve it. Even they didn't approve, the bill thought it was passed. So within 14 days, Rajya Sabha didn't take any action means it was thought, it was considered that the bill was passed by Rajya Sabha. So in case of money bill, Lok Sabha have more power when compared to Rajya Sabha. So who is the presiding officer of Rajya Sabha? It was Vice President. Then who is the presiding officer of Lok Sabha? The Speaker. So the Lok Sabha is presided over by the Speaker who is elected by its members. So the Lok Sabha is presided. So preside means to lead or be in charge of a meeting. So to lead or be in charge of a meeting. So the Lok Sabha, so the meeting is presided over by the Speaker who is elected by its members. So the office of the Speaker occupies an essential position in our parliamentary democracy. The office of the Speaker occupies an essential position in our parliamentary democracy. The Speaker continues to be in the office even in the House is dissolved. So even though the House is dissolved, the Speaker continues to be in the office till a new Speaker is elected by the new Lok Sabha. So even though the Lok Sabha is dissolved, so after 5 years term or before the term, so the Speaker won't, so the Speaker was not forced to dissolve because he is given an important position. So he given an essential position in our parliamentary democracy. So the speaker continues to be in the office even in the houses dissolved till a new speaker is elected by the new Lok Sabha. The speaker presides over a joint sitting of the two houses of the parliament. So if there is any bill pending in the parliament means, so sometimes the president call for a joint sitting. That is both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha members were joined in a particular hall, so mostly in the Lok Sabha hall itself. So the president can arrange for the joint sitting. So this joint sitting was presided over only by the speaker, not by the Rajya Sabha chairman, that is vice president. So the joint sitting of the parliament was presided over by the speaker only. So he has the power to decide whether a bill is money bill or an ordinary one. So the speaker has the power to decide whether a bill is money bill or an ordinary one. So while the office of the speaker is vacant or the speaker is absent from the sitting of the house, the deputy speaker presides over the meeting. So when the office of the speaker is vacant or the speaker is absent or he is unable to do his duty means, then the deputy speaker presides over the meeting. So the deputy speaker presides over the meeting except when a resolution for his own removal is under consideration. If there is any motion, if there is any resolution that was brought by any party in Lok Sabha for the removal of deputy speaker means, then the deputy speaker can't preside over the Lok Sabha meeting. So the Lok Sabha is presided over the speaker who is elected by its members. The office of the speaker occupies an essential position in our parliamentary democracy. So the speaker continues to be in the office even the house is dissolved. So the speaker continues to be in the office even the house is dissolved till a new speaker is elected by the new Lok Sabha. So till the new speaker elected, so the old speaker continues to be in the office. So the speaker presides over a joint sitting of the two houses of the parliament. So not the vice chairman or chairman or any other person. Only the speaker of Lok Sabha presides over here. So he only led the meeting, joint sitting of the two houses of the parliament. He has the power to decide whether a bill is money bill or an ordinary one. While the office of the speaker is vacant or the speaker is absent from the sitting of the house, the deputy speaker presides except when a resolution for his own removal is under consideration. So powers and functions of the parliament. So parliament, the legislative, that is the law-making body. So what are the powers? So what are the functions of the parliament? So the parliament of India has the functions of legislation. That is, they make the laws for the country. Overseeing of administration. So they take care of administration. So passing of budget. So budget were passed in the parliament. So ventilation of public grievances. So ventilation means so to express your feelings or opinion publicly. So the elected members express their feelings, express their opinion publicly in the parliament. So ventilation of public grievances. So grievances means so something that you think is unfair and that you can complain or protest about. So in the parliament, so our members, so our representatives, so express their feeling about what is public problem. So what was the problem of the public? So what is unfair among public? Then discussion of various subjects like development plans, international relations and internal policies. So the Parliament of India has the function of legislation, overseeing of administration, passing of budget, ventilation of public grievances. So they express their feelings, they express their opinion in the Parliament. So about the public. Then they discuss about various subjects such as development plans. So what are the development plans? So proposed by the government. So their international relations. So what was their relationship with the other countries? Then the policies, the internal policies. So they were discussed in the parliament. Then parliament is also vested with the power to impeach the president. So they have the power, so as like that of the Rajya Sabha, to impeach. So to the president and to remove judges of the Supreme Court and High Court and Chief Election Commissioner and Comptroller and Auditor General of India. So Comptroller and Auditor General. So who was he? So he only audit and check the financial account of the government of India. So Comptroller and Auditor General of India in accordance with the procedure laid down in the Constitution. As per the procedure in the Constitution, so Parliament have the power to impeach the President and to remove the judges of the Supreme Court and High Court, Chief Election Commissioner and Comptroller and Auditor General of India. Then the Parliament has the power to change the boundaries of the state. So the Parliament has the power to change the boundaries of the state. So they also have the power to create a new state. So they have the power to create a new state. So they can change a state to an union territory or an union territory to state. So recently, so Jammu Kashmir. So actually initially it was a state. Now it was changed as an union territory. So one is Ladakh and another one is Jammu Kashmir. So the Parliament has the power to change the boundaries of the state. So next, Attorney General of India. So the union legislation consists of Parliament and also the Attorney General of India. So the Constitution, Article 76, has provided the office of the Attorney General for India. So the Constitution, Article 76, has provided for office of the Attorney General for India. So who was he? So he is the highest law officer in the country. So the Attorney General is the highest law officer in the country. He is appointed by the President. So the Attorney General was appointed by the President. Then he must be a person who is qualified to be appointed the Judge of the Supreme Court. So who can be appointed as the Attorney General? A person who is qualified to be appointed as the Judge of the Supreme Court can be appointed as the Attorney General of India by the President of India. He may be removed by the President at any time. So the President can appoint a person as the Attorney General, and at the same time he may be removed by the President at any time. He may also quit his office, that is he can submit his resignation to the President. So the Constitution, as per Article 76, provided for the office of Attorney General for India. So he is the highest law officer in the country. He is appointed by the President and also be removed by the President. He can submit his resignation to the President. So the qualification is, so he must be a person who is qualified to be appointed as the Judge of the Supreme Court. So what are the duties and functions? So why he was appointed by the President of India? So we know that he is the highest law officer in the country. So Attorney General is the highest law officer in the country. So what was his duties? So his duty was to give advice to the Government of India upon such legal matters which are referred to him by the President. So he have the duty to give advice to the Government of India on legal matters which are referred to him by the President. So Attorney General of India has the right of audience in all courts in the territory of India. So he has the right to participate. So he has the right of audience in all courts of the territory of India. Further, he has the right to speak and to take part in the proceedings of the both houses of the Parliament. So the Attorney General, so he is not a member of the Parliament, but he has the right to speak and right to take part in the proceedings of the both houses of the Parliament or their joint sitting and any committee of the Parliament of which he may be named as a member but without a right to vote. So he can take part in the proceedings of both houses of the Parliament, but there is no vote right for him. So but he can't vote. So for passing a bill or for passing any resolution, he have no right to vote. But he was permitted to take part in the proceedings of the both houses, and he have given the right to speak in both the houses. He enjoy all the privileges, that is special rights and immunities that are available to a member of the Parliament. So the Attorney General of India enjoys all the special rights and immunities. So immunities means, so they were protected, so they were preserved from imposing cases, civil or criminal cases. So you can't impose civil or criminal cases upon a member of Parliament when Parliament session is going on. So the same immunities was enjoyed by the Attorney General of India, though he is not a member of the Parliament. Okay, so duties and functions. So he gave advice to the Government of India on legal matters which are referred to him by the President. So he has the right of audience in all court in the territory of India. So he can visit any court. So if there is any person who put a case on central government means, so the Attorney General of India argue in support of the government. So he has the right to speak and to take part in the proceedings of the both houses of the parliament or their joint sitting and any committee of the parliament of which he may be named a member but without a right to vote. And also he enjoy all the privileges and immunities that are available to a member of the parliament. Okay students, today's class we have discussed about the union legislative. So previous class we discussed about union executive, and today's class we discussed about union legislative, that is Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha and Attorney General of India. So Rajya Sabha, so what is the minimum age qualification? 30 years. Then for Lok Sabha it was 25 years. Then we discussed about powers and functions of the parliament, and also finally Attorney General of India. So name the article which provided for the office of Attorney General for India. Article 76. So who appoint the Attorney General of India? The President. So do he have a right to vote in parliament? No. So only he can attend the meeting. So only he have the right to speak and take part in the proceedings of the both houses of the parliament. So he have no right to vote. Okay, so we have discussed these things. So if you have any doubt in this topic, so please contact me. So today's textbook reading. Take page number 253. Read that Lok Sabha heading and also the qualification of the members, then the term of the house, then the election. Then homework. So take page number 258. Sixth Roman letter. So already you have read first detail, then third detail. Now fourth detail. Critically examine the powers and functions of the parliament. So take page number 254. See the heading, powers and functions of the parliament. The 3 point. You have to write it fully. So simple question. So read it. So as per civics, the powers and functions questions are very important. So in the lessons, if you see any question like the powers and functions means, so read it well. So it's a very important question. Okay, students, thank you. Have a nice day.